Well, the NFL has been teasing us a little bit the past few days. 9 games of the 2022 schedule have already been announced, but later tonight we'll get the full rundown, the real deal. So we already know which 10 teams will be heading abroad to play those international games, along with 4 of the 6 teams who will be playing, of course, on Christmas Day as part of that NFL's first ever Christmas triple header, something we all can't wait for. The season begins Thursday, September 8th. Those international locations on the docket, London, they get 3 games. You got 1 in Germany, Seattle facing TB12 and the Bucks, and 1 in Mexico with the NFC West with the Niners and Cards. Then, of course, the Super Bowl 57 in Arizona. All right, for more on this, senior NFL writer Jason Lockenford tapping in this AM. And JOC, we know the idea of, who's going to play who, but it's all about where and when. When you're looking at this, let's start with one of those matchups we might see Russell Wilson facing the Seahawks, first time in a Denver Broncos uniform.
Yeah, this one will be interesting. I mean, I know that's a concept that some of the 12th man hasn't quite gotten their heads around, that, Russ is gone, and he's coming back, and he's going to be on the opposite sideline. Excuse me, about to sneeze here at some point. Sierra probably with him. Oh, allergies. One Zyrtec, not enough. What is that going to look like? It's going to be emotional for Seahawks players and personnel. It's going to be emotional for Russ. The difference is Russ has a far better cast around him. Would be interesting if Baker Mayfield is starting for the Seahawks by then. You'd have 2 of the more diminutive quarterbacks in the league on the field at the same time. This will be fascinating. This will be must-see TV. It's one of the games that maybe people aren't talking about as much as some of these others because it doesn't feature, teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 2 years, but that's going to be an epic revenge game.
Yeah, see, I thought you were going to cry there when you said Russ in a Denver uniform facing the Seahawks. I thought that you were about to do that.
No, I'm good with it, man.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Team Russ. Whatever's good for Russ and Sierra, I'm good with.
All right, another matchup we'll see, one that we've seen in the past in the playoffs, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, of course, something we could see in the postseason later this year as well. What do you expect from those two?
Well, I almost felt like I shouldn't write about this or talk about this because these guys might play each other 7 more times, right? I mean, who knows? Like, from moment to moment, are they playing? Are they not playing? Are they retired? Tom's going to the booth now. A-Rod might just want to walk the earth like Kung Fu at some point in time. But we do know they're going to play each other in the regular season this year. I would guess that's the last meeting. I'm not as bullish on the Packers as some other people in terms of long postseason runs. But anytime they get together, it's must-see TV. They haven't been in the same conference that long, but they've played at least one epic game against one another in the postseason. You tend to think the postseason runs through the Bay of Pigs there. Green Bay and Tampa Bay both cementing themselves as, recently at least, perennial playoff teams. So, yeah, who's not going to be fired up for that game?
This could be the last time, maybe, where you're talking Brady and
Could
Rodgers.
be.
You just never know between these two, right? How about San Francisco?
Yeah, no.
We still need to figure out the situation with the QB. That's not our problem. That's theirs. But outside of that, what could the first 6 weeks look like for the Niners here?
I think it's going to be really telling. How much travel, the quality of the opponents. Are they able to kind of ease Trey Lance in? Trey Lance has not played football with any regularity in going on 3 years. I mean, that's just the reality of, the pandemic and what happened at North Dakota State and them not playing any games. And then last year, him not playing as much as some expected. I think it's going to be absolutely fascinating. And do they get some, a little bit of a buffer from the league office, Howard Katz and those guys, to maybe they can ease this thing in? How early is their bye? And I don't know that too many people are thinking about a San Francisco-Carolina game. They will play. I'm kind of interested in it because Jimmy Garoppolo, could end up in Carolina. That's still a possibility. Once he starts throwing in July, I think you'll see trade interest ramp up ahead of training camp. So that would be pretty fascinating. Garoppolo against Shanahan with Trey Lance at the helm for the 49ers.
We'll see how that pans out for Trey Lance here. The Niners, as you mentioned, those first 6 weeks will be crucial for that year. Staying out west, the Battle of L.A. meets Rage Against the Machines, the Chargers and Rams.
Yep.
I mean, I think we're more excited to see what halftime show we might get between these two than what's the production on the field.
Look, I don't want to tell anybody how to run their franchise or football team, but I'm just saying the Rams and the Chargers do play. Let's be real. That's the house that Stan Kroenke built, the owner of the Rams. The Chargers are tenants. You know, the rodeo probably spends more time in that stadium in any given year than the Chargers actually do. I'm hoping the Battle of Los Angeles is played early in the season, maybe week 1, week 2. Yes, get Zach De La Roca and Tom Morella and the guys from Rage Against the Machine, who are supposed to go back on tour. I know that. There we go. The pandemic has put a dent on that. Let them play halftime and let the Rams take a total heel turn. Let's say it's week 1. It's not really their home game, but it's their house. Give them their rings, raise the banner, rub the Chargers' nose in it before kickoff. I doubt it'll happen. Maybe at least the Rage Against the Machine part, but that would be a dream scenario for me. I think it would be hilarious. It would be fun to talk about, and it would really, ratchet up that rivalry even more.
That would be so disrespectful to get the trophies and rings the same night. Your cousin's down the street, of course, the same arena. That would be so bad if you're a Chargers fan. Something you have to remember for the upcoming season there. Are the AFC West, a.k.a. the SEC of the NFL? Some might call it that.
Yeah.
But how crazy could that final stretch be for that division stacked with talent as we've seen this offseason?
Look, we know that the way the league schedules this, they put a premium on the division races, and we see a lot of divisional games down the stretch. And for my money, I don't have that much of it, but I would say that's the best division in football. And how that sort of mix, what that rubric looks like the final 4 weeks of the season, 6 weeks of the season, is one team home more than the other? There's a lot of inherent travel in that division just by the geography, how spread apart those teams are. Does somebody get a late bye and then they get one of their tougher division opponents at home, then maybe another home game after that? I think the margins will be so slim in that division.
This might be a good.
I think you can make the case they're all playoff teams. I don't know that all the wild cards are going to come from one division, just with the way the schedule works. But yes, I think the back end could be telling. There's a lot of new pieces there, right? So early, there's going to be Josh McDaniels, new coach, and the Chiefs have some key turnover. No more Cheetah. Obviously, we talked about Russ and what that thing looks like. The Chargers went out and brought in a bunch of new players. The tail end there, I think, will probably tell the tale of that division.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.